الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. Inshallah, we'll start today with a very, very important topic for all Muslims. However, it's been neglected for a long time, so we'll bring this to your attention now. A few weeks ago, specifically 10 days ago, the Western calendar started in a new year, January 1st, 2026. And the majority of the Muslims really celebrated that year, forgetting that we have our own calendar, the Islamic calendar. So in this presentation, we will talk about the Islamic calendar, why it is important for us, and what are the definitions and other parameters that are related to the Islamic calendar. How it began, the moments, milestones in the history of Muslims, etc. First, let's get started with the values of studying our Islamic calendar. Why it is really important for us to study the Islamic calendar? Because it's part of our identity. We are Muslims and we are commanded to really understand and follow our Islamic calendar, not the Gregorian calendar, not the Jewish calendar, not the Hindu calendars, only the Islamic calendar that we are commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran to follow in our daily life. So take this example, for instance. Every Muslim know that zakat al-mal, which is the poor due or the mandatory charity for the savings. It is 2.5% of the savings of liquidable assets of all Muslims. And it has to exceed certain limit. I believe it's about $8,000 now. And then it also has to pass 1 year in your savings account. And then when all these three conditions are passed, then the Muslims should pay 2.5% of the total value of the liquidable assets, including gold as well. So what is the meaning of the year here, the 1 year in Arabic called al-Hawl? Is it the Gregorian year? The answer is no. It's our Islamic calendar. So we have to understand what is our Islamic calendar so we can apply our Islamic Sharia properly. Also, the Quran says the divorced woman must abstain from remarrying for 3 months. What kind of months is this? Is this the Jewish months or Gregorian months, Hindu months, Chinese months? No, it's the Islamic months. So if we don't understand what is the Islamic months, then how can we apply our Islamic Sharia? Another point also, a widowed woman must not remarry for 4 months and 10 days. According to the Quran. So again, what months is this mentioned in the ayah regarding this rule? It is the Islamic months, not the Gregorian months, not the Hindu months, not the Chinese months, not the Persian months. It is the Islamic months. There are so many mentions in the Quran about the months and the Islamic calendar, and we have to understand them very well in order for us as Muslims to apply our Islamic Sharia as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intended for us to apply. Now, what are the other types of calendars? So let's try to study this and to understand it a little bit more in depth. So there are two major types of calendars. The first one is the solar calendar. The solar calendar really follows the movement of the sun, or actually the movement of the earth around the sun. So the solar calendar completes when this rotating big body, the blue body, which is Earth, complete one full circle around the sun, which is in the center. The small little ball that's rotating around the Earth is the moon, our moon. So this is really a presentation about the solar system. Fatin, can you mute your phone, please? Okay. So now this is the solar system. All right. Opposite to that, there is also the lunar system. The lunar system is basically following the movement of the moon. So think about this now. This is the moon rotating around the Earth, and the sun appears on the right-hand side as the yellow circle. And the moon reflects the light of the sun for the people on Earth to see the moon. So on the left-hand side, when the moon becomes full, that's exactly when the Earth is between the sun, and the moon. This is a complete moon. A full circle of the moon around the Earth represents one lunar month. One lunar month. I hope you understand the difference now between the two. And now let's see the types of calendars worldwide. The first type of calendar, which is commonly used, is the Gregorian calendar. Right now, we are at the year of 2025. And this is a solar system. It's used commonly worldwide, secular. It's not associated with any religion. However, it was established in 1582 by the Pope Gregory VIII, and that was the correction of the Julian calendar. This is the most commonly used calendar worldwide now. The second type of calendar, which is most widely used, is the Islamic calendar. Some people call it Hijri calendar. That's fine. And we'll understand the difference between the Islamic and the Hijri calendar in minutes. This calendar follows the moon. So it's a fully 100% pure lunar system. Lunar system. It is used by Muslims, and it's a pure lunar calendar that drafted 11 days earlier each solar year. We are currently in the month of Rajab. That means we are about little over a month from the holy month of Ramadan. The third type of calendar is the Jewish calendar or the Hebrew calendar. The year now is 5786, and it's lunisolar. Lunisolar. So practically, it's a lunar system, but there are some corrections that's happening to it. By adding a leap months occasionally to keep the festivals in their proper seasons like winter and summer, etc. And currently in the month of Tavet, that's the name of the month. So this Jewish calendar, it was originally lunar system, but they decided to add a leap months, which like one full month every few years, to shift the entire year to match the Gregorian calendar. There's also the Chinese calendar. Year now is 4723. It's a lunisolar system. It's used by the Chinese in the Far East, and it is famous for its 12-year zodiac cycles. There's also the Persian calendar. They call it the solar Hijri calendar. So they follow the Hijri calendar, but they follow the solar system. So currently it's the year 1404. So it's about 40 years longer than the Hijri calendar. It's used in Iran and Afghanistan. There's also Ethiopian calendar. The year now is 2018. It's a purely solar system. Has 13 months, 12 months of 30 days plus 1 month, 1 short month per year. So it's a fixed number of days per month. It's 30 days per month, but then they add a short month to make it match the Gregorian. There's also Vikram, which is used by the Hindu people. The year now is 2082. There's also the Buddhist. The year now is 2568, and it's a lunisolar system. There's also Naka Shai. The year now is 557. It's a solar system. It's used by the Sikh people mainly in India and Tibet. There's also the Japanese, the era. This is really a little bit strange calendar because it's a solar system, yes, but every emperor then they start a whole new calendar for him. There's also the Coptic calendar, which is followed by the Christian Egyptians and the Christian Ethiopians. They follow the same church. It's the Coptic church, and the year now is 1742. It's for the Coptic Orthodox of Egypt, as I mentioned. There's also the Joshi, which is the year now is 114. It is used in North Korea, and this calendar is started by the birth of Kim Il-sung, the former president of North Korea, in the year of 1912. So these are just some examples of the calendars worldwide. As you can see, all of the calendars, they are either solar or lunisolar, which is a mix between lunar system, which actually started as a lunar system, but then they add few days or they add months or they add some periods to make it match the Gregorian calendar. The only pure lunar system on Earth is the Islamic calendar, nothing else. If you have any questions, please let me know. We can address them as we keep going. So when did the Islamic months, the names of the Islamic months like Muharram, Safar, Rabi al-Awwal, etc., started? This is really very interesting point. Not too many people know about this. The Arabs came up with these names before Islam. They came up with the names of the Islamic calendar months, Muharram, Rajab, Rabi al-Awwal, Rabi al-Akhir, etc., way before Islam. But the meaning was somehow scattered and not agreed upon until the year of 412 CE. The Arab leaders met in Mecca and they took a final decision about the 12 months names. The 12 months names. They also agreed on the sacred months. In Arabic, they are called al-Ashhur al-Hurum. Al-Ashhur al-Hurum. The 4 sacred months that nobody fights in these months. The first month of al-Ashhur al-Hurum, or the sacred months, is Dhul Qa'dah, and then Dhul Hijjah, the month of the Hajj, and then Muharram, the first month of the year, and then Rajab, which comes a few months later. So 3 of them are in sequence: Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hijjah, Muharram, and then the month of Rajab, which is 2 months before Ramadan. The Arab leaders at that time, they agreed on these 4 months to be the sacred months. And in these sacred months, they all agreed that there's no war whatsoever. Arabs used to have wars among themselves constantly, and the tribes used to fight each other a lot. And it was very tiring and exhaustive to everyone. It did impact also the economy so badly. Because of that, they decided that they will not have any war between them during these 4 months. 1 month before the month of Hajj and 1 month after the month of Hajj. That decision was also economically motivated because Mecca, main source of income, was the people coming to perform Hajj, the pilgrimage. Right? And they did not want to scare them by having wars during these months, during these 3 months. That's why they stopped the war during these 3 months, 1 month before the month of Hajj and 1 month after. They also agreed that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran later on that the good deeds are multiplied in these sacred months, And also bad deeds are multiplied as well, as you can see in the ayah that will be coming in a few slides up. And so the number of days in each month of the Islamic calendar, how many days in every month? Well, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said in the authentic hadith narrated in al-Bukhari and Muslim that the Islamic month is either 29 or 30 days. It can never be 28 or can never be 31. It's always 29 or 30 days, nothing else. So the number of each day, number of the year is 354 or 355, which is 11 days fewer than the Gregorian calendar. 11 days fewer than the Gregorian calendar. Okay. Why? Because the Gregorian calendar, the number of days in every month, as you all know, it's either 30 days or 31 days, except the month of February, which is 28 or 29. Islamic calendar is about 33 years to circle back to the Gregorian calendar. Let's take an example. So, for instance, in the year of 2026, this year, Ramadan starts on February 18th. If you add 33 years to that becomes the year of 2059. So Ramadan in the year of 2059 will start almost on the same day, which is February 14th, as you can see. So it does the rotation 33 years. Every 33 years, it does match the Gregorian calendar. All right. Any questions so far? Alrighty. So what are the sacred months or al-Ashhur al-Hurum? This is very important for us as Muslims to understand. The sacred months are four. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stated in the Holy Quran, إن عدة الشهور عند الله 12 شهرا في كتاب الله يوم خلق السماوات والأرض منها 4 حرم ذلك الدين القيم فلا تظلموا فيهن أنفسكم وقاتلوا المشركين كافة كما يقاتلونكم كافة واعلموا أن الله مع المتقين. So in this ayah, ayah 36 of Surah 9, Surah al-Tawbah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said the number of months in the year is 12. So nobody has any freedom to make it 11 or 13. It has always to be 12. No changes. From Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala command, nothing else. And he also stated that 4 out of these 12 are sacred or hurum. And also he stated that in these sacred months, you should really avoid the bad deeds or the bad sins because they are multiplied. They are multiplied. Alrighty. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Okay, let's continue. So the sacred months, the Prophet ﷺ said also in the Holy Hadith, in the last sermon, that قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في خطبة حجة الوداع السنة 12 شهرا منها 4 حرم 3 متواليات ذو القعدة وذو الحجة والمحرم ورجب مضر الذي بين جمادى وشعبان. The meaning of the hadith is similar to the ayah that we just mentioned a minute ago. That the total number of months in the year is 12, cannot change, and 4 out of the 12 are sacred or hurum. Next, let me move this away. If you have any question, please feel free to ask me right away. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stated the number of months in the year is 12, as we mentioned, and he also stated 4 out of the 12 are sacred. And also the Arabs used to do the lunar system for centuries. However, some of the Arabs before Islam, they used to play with the month. They used to play with the Arabic months. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came and cursed and condemned this practice. It is called an-nasi. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah al-Tawbah, إنما النسيء زيادة في الكفر يضل به الذين كفروا يحلونه عاما ويحرمونه عاما ليواطئوا عدة ما حرم الله فيحل ما حرم الله زين لهم سوء أعمالهم والله لا يهدي القوم الكافرين. In this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, indeed, postponing the sacred months, which is called an-nasi, and we'll talk about the meaning in the next slide, is an increase in disbelief. It's not only disbelief, but it's like excessive disbelief. By it, those who disbelieves are led astray. They make it lawful 1 year and forbidden another year. So they used to play with the Arabic months. They used to play with the Arabic months in 3 different ways. They used to play with the Arabic months in 3 different ways. Here are 3 examples. Number 1, they used to delay the prohibition of Muharram to another month, such as Safar, to allow themselves to fight or carry out the raids. Allah described this as al-nasi, or increase in the disbelief. What does it mean? It means that there are war started between 2 tribes. One of them is strong, powerful, is prevailing, about to win the war. And by winning the war, they expect to take lots of war spoils and lands and properties and sheep and crops, etc. So, and then the month of Muharram comes, it starts. So they get together really quick, the leaders, and they say, okay, we decide this year that the sacred month is not going to be Muharram. We postpone this for the next month, which is Safar. And then they continue fighting. They defeat the other tribe. They take the war spoils, and that's it. So basically, they were playing with the rules of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by setting up the sacred months. Another example of an-nasi is that they used to add an additional month to the lunar system, so it it adjusts itself to what is known now as the Gregorian or the seasonal. So Ramadan always falls within the spring, etc. So some years that they made the year 13 months, not only 12. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came very clearly stated in the Quran that the number of months in the year is only 12 to forbid this excessive disbelieving behavior of the Arabs before Islam. The third example is that they used to delay the Hajj from Dhul Hajjah. Sometimes Dhul Hajjah, the month of Dhul Hajjah, comes in the winter. So it becomes really cold in the Arabic Peninsula. And therefore, the number of people coming to perform Hajj gets reduced because they cannot travel through the harsh winter. And because of that, that was also a negative economical impact on the people of Quraysh, because you have less people coming to trade and bring money with them, etc. And because of that, they used to push the Hajj to another month, push it like 2-3 months, so it falls within the warm months. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in this ayah also, this is also absolutely prohibited. And it's really excessive or extreme disbelieving and sinning. Any question before we continue?